Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Andrea. If you're new here, I'm a full-time writing instructor and a part-time content creator and indie author. And welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here today. So you will have already seen some of the changes in the background in my recent vlogs. It might even look more put together than it currently does. In the most recent vlogs, I'm filming this kind of out of order, and I'm filming this over the course of at least a few days, probably. It is currently June 26th. It is June 26th. It is Monday, and as you can see, if you're a returning viewer, I have started rearranging my office. Something just kicked in late last night. Don't know what exactly, but I just had this feeling of, let's just start doing it. I hadn't done much all day on Sunday. I just kept it really chill, was relaxing on the couch. So I think I did have a little bit of energy, and I just thought 30 or 40 minutes, see how far I can get. I had a feeling I could get as far as I did, and I really wanted to try to do that. So just some background for those who have been following me for a little less than a year. You might not have seen the last big office redo. I have been living in this apartment for nearly 10 years. I think I'm like just about a month or so shy of 10 years. It's the longest I have ever lived anywhere my entire life. I grew up in the Army. We moved around a lot. Even after my dad retired, I continued to move a lot. I stayed with them for a couple years while I finished high school, and then I started college while living at home. So I was in that house for about 4 years, and then I moved out for a year, then I moved back, then I moved out again for grad school. And when I moved out for grad school the first time around, I had like four. I rented a room in a house, then I had a 1-bedroom apartment, then I had a 2-bedroom apartment, then back to bedroom apartment. So 4 different residences in 2 years. I was moving constantly. It was not fun. Then I moved back up to Phoenix and back in with my parents, and was there for 5 years. And that, I think, at that time was the longest I'd ever lived somewhere. And then I went back to grad school, lived with them during my second master's, and then as soon as I knew I had funding for my PhD, moved out again. And that's when I moved into this apartment. And it's been a really lovely place to live. I love the neighborhood. The apartment itself is a really good size. It's been a constant struggle, I use that word very loosely, over the last almost 10 years, because at one point I had lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. This is a 1-bedroom. I think it's around 800 square feet. I live in Arizona. I live in Phoenix. We have large apartments compared to other places. So it's a really good size apartment. There is a ton of storage. It's just been a 10-year process, it feels, of slowly decluttering and moving things around and rearranging things and finding like the best configuration, but also sometimes just moving things around just to make things feel fresh. And so I tend to redo my office area almost every year, at least for the last few years. I've done that. But even throughout my PhD, I was constantly moving things around and tweaking things and playing with things. Just, again, finding the best way to have things at the time, or just making it feel fresh and reinvigorating the space a little bit. So it was time. I did this last summer sometime. Summer tends to be when I do the big move, because it takes me a while. It's not a one-day process, I wish. So it does take a bit of time, and summer is when I have that time, when I'm not working full-time at the university. Knowing that summer break is pretty much half over, not slightly more than half over, I knew I needed to get a move on with this. So yes, I just went ahead and started. So I've got some before pictures that I will put on over the screen right now. Before, it was set up with the desk on one side, and directly behind me while facing the desk, I had another desktop that I put storage underneath, and then a bookshelf, a couple bookshelves on top to kind of create a bit of a hutch kind of a situation. It's very mishmash. I don't have like one designated like desk set or like office set. It's a bunch of random pieces that I got at IKEA way back when I first moved in here. Originally, the large desktop that is my current main desktop was what I used as my desk, and the smaller tabletop was what I used. I had my sewing machines set up. So I have a sewing machine and I have an overlock serger machine. And so I kept both of those set up on that table. And then over the years, I just realized I never had time to sew. So that table was just taking up space with the sewing machines. There was a better, more effective way of using the tabletop and the space in general. When I first moved in here, I had all the office, all the desk stuff went along this whole wall in front of the window. Then I had a dining table kind of in the middle of the dining space. And so I was really trying to have an office and a dining room, because this whole space that I'm currently sitting in is technically the dining room, the dining space. I've got an open plan kitchen, dining, living room, which is lovely. In an ideal world, I would have a 2-bedroom apartment so that I could have a bedroom, an office / guest room, and still have an actual dining room. But I'm not living in an ideal world at this point. So at this point, I need an office more than I need a dining room. I'm not exactly entertaining people. I eat most nights on a tray on the couch, so it's fine. But the office has been feeling not so much cluttered. I have been doing a good job of decluttering the office over the last few years. It still has a way to go, and so I will be trying to declutter some more stuff during this whole experience. But it just has been feeling not very inspired. I think I'm just getting bored with it, and I wanted to try a new layout, and I wanted to try moving some things around and just see how it feels. But despite feeling like I had energy last night, I don't have a lot of energy overall. So I'm not doing what I did last year, which was basically moved everything out of this space and kind of starting from scratch with furniture placement. I'm gonna play a time lapse or some video of what I managed to accomplish yesterday, and then I will talk you through everything. So let's watch that now. Okay, so after the last bit I filmed, I did do a little bit of tweaking, but let me get up, especially while the air conditioning is off, and I will show you kind of where things are at as of today. So we still have a giant mess right here, and we also still have a giant mess going through here. Now, these books are gonna live here for a little while, because eventually I need to redo all of these shelves and all of these shelves and just take everything off the shelves and rearrange them, and then start putting books back on and figure out what books do I not have room for. Basically, I want to put all the books that I love and that I know I want to keep, I will let go back on the shelves, and then we will see what books are left and decide which ones I can not keep. So this is going to stay here for a little while, and there goes the air conditioning, but that's okay. These don't bother me. This bothers me. So these need to be put away. And then those are all candles. And then this is all other stuff. For now, these boxes are going to stay tucked behind this chair. I've moved this bookshelf over here. I will probably tuck the yoga mat back there somewhere as well. I've already moved this chair to angle a little bit more straight out and added this little stool with this little doily that I have. It belonged to one of my grandmothers. And so I've got my beautiful peonies. These will be a thing of the past by the time this vlog goes up, so we'll enjoy them just a little bit longer. So this has been working. This will obviously all get cleaned up. This is just part of the mess right now. And then we have the L. So I used this shelving unit to create more length here, because if I pushed this table all the way to where the back corner of the desk is, then it would only come out by like this much, which would not really be a full L. I really have wanted to try a full L-shaped desk. I've never done that before. And so I really wanted to have this situation going on. And then back here, this table used to be in the living room, but when I got my new couch, it didn't fit at the end. It just makes that length, basically makes it come out too far, and then I can't get into the living room. So it was adding too much length and didn't fit. So I've had this just sitting in the corner here, which was really in the way. So I wanted to get that out somewhere. But the table fits my printer on top, and then down here, this is my old printer, which has a scanning bed, and I still use the scanner. I don't use the printer anymore, but I use the scanner. And then I've got some of my drawing and sketching stuff on top, but this kind of keeps all of the printer scanner stuff together. These were the two bookcases that were on top of this table, and then all in a line here. So I've created a little corner bit over here. The dry erase board is really easy to move, so the lights stretch across it right now because I'm all about that fairy light life. But I can lift this up or just slide it really easily, and tucked back here are, if it'll focus, won't focus probably, but two tripods. I've got my two tripods down there. So that is what I've kind of put in that void, and so that does kind of work, but also I can now stand here and write on this. I've always had this like down on the floor, and then it's been really hard to like actually use it, so I've been wanting to put it up on something. So I'm trying it out in the corner like this, but I could also put it flat against this wall. I'd have to move the light, so I'm trying it in the corner, and we will see how that works. It's also magnetic, so I've got a couple of magnets here, and then I've got some more magnets down there. I can also stick sticky notes on it. I might also hang something here, we shall see. I've got an old cork board up there. I have another dry erase board, this one down here. That used to hang right here, I think. So the nails are still in there. I'm still putting stuff on the bookcases. My filing cabinet is now on the side. I've got some papers and stuff for like Instagram pictures, flat lays. I don't really do those anymore, but I've still got those. They're magnetized onto the side, and then it opens out this way. I could tilt it the other way, but then it would come out further. So this way kind of gives me the most space to walk out this way. The problem I'm having is when I'm sitting at the desk, I really like this layout. I like that I can work from here, I can swivel and work from here. So like I've got all of my sketching stuff, like I need to start working on my book cover sketches, so I can have my sketching stuff just kind of living out here, but still have a workspace. So I like that I now will have two workspaces. I also love that I can swivel and boom, I'm at the printer, or you know, bam, I can access anything here if I want. This filing cabinet is more for archive stuff, so I don't access things in there on a regular basis. I will be storing some things on top. So like in this whole space, it's really functional, and I love that. What I don't like, and what I think I just need to get used to, and like, again, see beyond the mess, because this will not be here once I'm finished. So this whole space, when I'm done, will be cleaned up and cleared off. But what I'm not liking is it feels like it really boxes off the office. It's not as open. So before, when you were facing in this direction, everything was on one side or the other and you could walk straight through. So like from the front door even, you had a clean line, a clear line through from this way in the entryway and by the living room straight through all the way up to the window. Now it's definitely boxed off. Part of me wondered, I almost feel like if I'm gonna do this, I may as well then move this whole bookcase here and like use it as an actual room divider and really divide up the room. And then I could have like a little library corner space here with this chair. Like, it's an option, just not one that I have the energy to mess with right now. So I'm at the point where basically I feel like I just have to finish cleaning everything up from the mess that I've made and live with it for probably the rest of the year. One of the things I'm trying to do is keep the other table that's currently L-ing out from the rest, keep that as cleared off as possible. I think that will help keep it feeling a little bit more open if I don't put a ton of stuff on that worktop. I also want to get rid of, right now I have my little waste basket, which is also recycling stuff, so it needs to be emptied badly. And then this storage unit. The only thing in here that I need and need ready access to are the tech chargers and stuff. I can put that stuff in this drawer. So the rest of it can be put in some other kind of container, as well as just decluttered and gone through. And then I can donate that to Goodwill, do something different with the waste basket situation so that underneath is completely cleared as well. Like, I want all of this to be cleared out. But then if I keep this clear, just like the occasional project I'm working on this tabletop, but otherwise not have anything else stored on here. My thought was, and I need to double check the measurements, I might still have to move some things when I move the table, but in the winter, when the windows are open and when I don't have the blackout curtains constantly closed, I could move this tabletop over to this side. I thought about doing that now, but I'd be then facing a dark, empty wall, and I don't really want to do that. I think in the winter it'd be really nice. And then having it on this side would make this side feel more open. So I think I need to just finish cleaning it, finish what I've started for now, live with this configuration for at least the next 5 or 6 months, and then maybe during winter break I can reevaluate some things, and yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and do a little bit more work. I'm only gonna do about 30 minutes today because I've got so many other things to do. I'm getting ready for Camp Nano as I'm filming this, so I need to switch to a different vlog in a moment, but I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes to just do a little bit more cleaning, and we'll see how much progress I can make. Okay, this is now clean except for that trash bag. Now it's just the books on this side. This is still here. That's a work in progress. I've straightened this up a little bit. This is still a work in progress. I need somewhere to put all of those sketchbooks, and I also need somewhere to leave my work bag in between when I'm not using it. This table is a lot more cleared off. This is as good as it's gonna get for now, but I've got room to sketch now, which will be fantastic. I've got some binders and baskets here on this side to keep all of that stuff contained. That's kind of the most I want as far as this section goes. But generally, I want this whole tabletop to be empty when it's not in use, or like just have whatever project I'm working on, like a sketchbook or something. Under here, this is my footrest, and above that, here is where the scanner used to be. So I've moved these storage boxes under there for now. This one is craft supplies, this one is jewelry supplies, and that one is jewelry supplies. And I am now thinking, I don't mind having them somewhere more out on display. I don't really have, like, this is already feeling too cluttered. I don't think I'm going to be able to have my books facing out and on display. I might put one on display on the top so that it's kind of visible in the background, and just rotate which one is on display. Right now I've got a bunch of candle jars here, but like that I want to do something different with. So like this will be better. This box is empty, but it's a better fit for that space to prop up the dry erase board. And then this box was empty. It now has some cards and stationery in it, but I want to downsize my stationery and greeting card collection that it all fits in the bottom drawer. So that box can be reclaimed. And then this purple box was empty, but it now has like file labels and stuff. So they're not just in bags floating around. It was a Birchbox box, but I just stuck a pretty book sticker on it. So yeah, this is all still being styled and sorted to make it look nice. My books, I've got a stack of them back there. They're just kind of all over the place. I want to get them kind of more condensed. And then over here, nothing changed. Nothing changed here. But yes, I did put my tech stuff in here, so this will still get organized. I had a nice divider thing, but it's just too tall to fit in this. So the drawer isn't deep enough to fit it. So I've put things in here a little bit loose, but I think it works. So yeah, I think I think that's it for now. I have to get to work. It's 2:32, so I really need to get to work on stuff. This is not how it's going to stay as far as like styling and stuff. Like I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we're working on things. I mean, I feel like with this whole apartment, there's only so nice things can get, because I really am trying to cram in. Like I need a second bedroom. I do have enough books and stationery and desk stuff and office stuff. Like I'm limited in how well I can store things. So like there is room that can be reclaimed in other areas. So throughout the next month there will be other boxes and little shelves and cubby holes and places that I'll be decluttering to try to make room for some of the stuff that just isn't fitting. I feel like I'm slowly trying to condense how much I actually store right here in my office, so that my office and this whole area can feel a little bit more open. I'm still slightly worried that with the L shape I'm boxing myself in, but I also really love the L shape from a work space perspective, so I don't know. So stay tuned to the rest of this vlog. Okay, at long last, I can finally update this video and finish it up. It's been a while. It's September now. It's getting to late September now. That's not quite what I intended when I started this video back in late June. Yeah. So, it's time to wrap things up and let you know how the desk and the office and everything has been going. And I will give you a full tour of everything. Let's chat for just a minute. Okay, so you have seen fragments and bits of things in the last few months worth of vlogs, although the desk has had the biggest, not the biggest change, but the desk has had a change that will be new for this video. So I did want to do some things that you won't have already seen ages ago in the background of the vlogs. But yeah, I started filming this video back in June before Camp NaNo started with the intention of finishing everything up sometime in July. I knew it was going to take me at least a few weeks to finish everything, but then it took even longer. I'm really happy with how things are and where things are at. There's still some things that I'm tweaking, and there will probably be some more changes coming in autumn and winter, like especially once the weather completely cools down and I am able to open up this window, like not just open the blinds, but open up the window. But yeah, it's really nice. I've been really enjoying it. The workflow has been really good. I'm loving having the desk over here and having the kind of L shape. It's been so nice to have two functional worktops. So earlier in this video, I mentioned that I loved the workflow aspect of this configuration. I love that from here, there's like, everything is within reach. So this desk, my printer behind me, over here, the bookshelf where I keep planner stuff, book stuff, miscellaneous office supplies, like my printer paper is now down on the bottom shelf over here. Like everything is within reach and is easy to access. I love that when I'm working at this desk and I'm facing out this way, I can see my bookshelves, I can see the fall leaves over my fireplace. It's just really beautiful and cozy, and like I can't wait for Christmas because I'll be able to see the Christmas tree in the corner and things like that. So like the feel of the office when I'm sitting in here, I absolutely love it. The problem, and this is where I'll stand up and start giving you guys the full tour. The problem is definitely when I'm outside of the office space. Just to kind of give you the full view, especially now that the air conditioning is off. So what has changed since the last time I updated it? This area is a little bit cleaner. I still have the giant stack of books behind the couch. I know the saying is something like, if you have too many books, it's not about getting rid of books, it's about getting more bookcases. I do think I need to get rid of some of the books and just let them go on to new homes and people who will read them and enjoy them. But that is a completely separate video and a completely separate project. But for now, it's all confined to this side, and I've got this space to walk. This is for Goodwill. I don't normally have just a random box there. That's for Goodwill, so I just need to take that down to my car. So when you come in, this is the view. It's definitely better. I still need to figure out something for my trash because that's really ugly and I don't like seeing that. Ideally, I would like to have absolutely nothing under this table because I do think it does help to make it still feel a little bit open to be able to see the floor all the way underneath. I'm still doing the best I can and working with what I've got. So it's not perfect. There's still random stuff back here that's not perfect. I don't really have anywhere else to put those sketch pads. My work bag, that's my personal work bag for going over to the house. That's just living there right now. My work bag for campus is living here right now. We'll move it out of the way for the purpose of this video. So yeah, from here, it's better than it was, but it definitely doesn't feel quite as open as it used to. I have finally taken down the blackout curtains, so yay, that's exciting. The blackout curtains are gone. They're down for the season, so now it's just the blinds, and that's really all that I need. So yesterday I cleaned the windows, I cleaned the windowsill, I put up my fall leaf decals. I'm loving it. So back over here, I've got my file cabinet. This is still a mess. This is still not exactly how I want it, but this is as good as it's going to get for now. I've got my books on top, other books, including some more of my books over there. And yeah, like this is where my printer paper now lives. These have other miscellaneous office supplies. I've got my planners and my planner binders, things like that. The printer with my old printer slash scanner. This drawer is all tech supplies and chargers and cables and things. Over here is my second desk. So I've got sketching stuff. I've got different books that I kind of want quick access to while I'm working at my desk. My planner is over here at the moment. Some notepads, my little planning board. These are all a bunch of project notebooks, my clipboard, folios and folders and things like that. And then we get to the main desk. So this has definitely changed a bit. This is what I worked on yesterday. So I now have my book stand, which I usually have notebooks or my publishing planner, things like that on it. At the moment, I moved my pretty display of flowers, and my calendar are now over on this side of the desk. My monitor is slightly, so this is center. This is me sitting center of my desk, center of my chair. So the monitor is now off center. I'll explain that in a moment. But I've got the monitor with my Bose speaker. I've got my pen case. So this is everything that I need the most, and then it can all come with me and go to the house. I've got another box of other random bits, so I use that as like a drawer there. My pen case also is kind of like a drawer. This is to connect the computer to my monitor. I've got my little caddy of sticky notes, some of my sticky notes back here. My phone rest with all of my coasters. I've got a pen pot back there. I've got another pen pot, some facial spray, some hand lotion, my planner binder archives. We've got my stack of white and brown craft paper sticky notes, as well as more of these sticky notes, which I generally keep in the drawer beside me, are where I have the ones I'm currently using, so they're always at hand, but I've got a whole bunch of them in there. My proof copies are all up there, along with a few other notebooks. My lamp is now up a little bit higher than it was, because it used to be these two shelf things were tipped horizontally, so they only came up to about here. So now they come up a little bit higher, but this means that some of these cubbies aren't hidden behind the monitor like they used to be. So I now have easy access to all of these. So I've got my pen pot with all of my highlighters. These are all of my Stabilo pens and my Papermate Inkjoy pens. My markers, my Primrosea markers are here. My smaller reference books and notebooks and London books. And then we've got some other books up there. And then candles. There's candles down here and candles back here. These are candles that I want to have on hand and like easy access. So like this is my current fall candle for just working here at the desk, like doing teaching work and stuff. That peony one in the back was my kind of just summer seasonal one. It's not done, so I've just put it back there. I'll bring it back out next year. I've got my Snuggly sweater and my blackberry absinthe candles. Those are my project candles. So they're now tucked away when I'm not using them, but I can easily get them out when I'm working on Independent Hearts or Across the Pond 5. I've got my London candle, is the project candle for Across the Pond 4. And then I've got a Siberian Fir and a Nest Moroccan Amber. Those will probably be my like seasonal desk candles for winter. So once the Cassia Clove is done. So I've got those there as well. And then to help keep this sign from tipping over, I have another candle hidden back there, so it's just nesting inside this little wood cutout, because otherwise that wood cutout wants to fall. But that's my Maison Margiela replica Whispers in the Library candle is back there. I keep a lot of these candles on the desk either because they're my project candles or they're my seasonal candle, or because, especially with the varying heights, they stack really easily and then they become my camera tripods. So whenever I'm filming something where the view is like from this desk looking over my shoulder, like here or so, you're usually stuck on a candle. That way I can actually use my water bottle. Otherwise you're on my water bottle as a tripod. I've got my little fall leaf coaster. So that's the coaster that I'm using the most right now. But if I have my water bottle and a mug of coffee, I've got other coasters I can use. The coasters also work, just FYI, the coasters also work really well as a place to rest my camera if I'm doing a shot of me typing and I need it to be just a few inches, like 1 or 2 inches off the tabletop, then I can stack these, I can stack them on something else. So if I need something shorter than the height of a candle, I use the coaster. So that is one reason why I have so many coasters. And then over here, I've put my battery operated candles in a little cluster. I've got I've got a small votive one, I've got like a pillar sized one, and I have a taper one, and then I have another taper one. I did take some footage last night of this area at night, and it is just so cozy between the fairy lights, that lamp, and then the battery operated candles. And I feel like the way that I've rearranged this, the taper candles now work really well. Like, I just love this vignette. These are just some, I'm gonna have to find some leaves like this that are fake, but these are now like 2 weeks old and they're not dying yet. So I hope they last a little while longer. I might try to see if I can find some more at Whole Foods, like just in the like flower filler section. If I do find them again, I'm getting them because these are lasting for absolute ever. But I just love them in this little bottle vase, and it just adds a nice little pop of real fresh greenery along with these candles. So my camera's struggling with the light a little bit, but get these lit so you can kind of see. So yeah, I love the way this all looks now. I just think this is all very cute and very cozy. So the monitor, so the thing with the monitor is I don't generally like to have my monitor be right in front of me. If I'm not using that monitor, if it's just an external monitor that I'm using for extra things, having it right above my line of vision when I'm typing on my laptop gets a little bit distracting. So like, I do prefer having it off to the side at an angle. That is my preferred space positioning for it. But there are 2 times where I do need it directly in front of me. One is when I'm copy editing, and one is when I'm working on Photoshop for the book cover. And so I am in that time frame for Independent Hearts where I do just kind of need the monitor right in front of me for those 2 tasks. Ideally, I wish I had a monitor mounted on like an arm, a gimbal or something, so that I can just move it and reposition it wherever I want it. I can't do that, but it is relatively easy to move. So when I'm sitting here at my desk and I've got my laptop, if I want it to be in front of me, I just have to move my pen case out of the way, and then I have to be like mindful of the drawer and like move everything together. But I can move this to be relatively centered and not too like right close to me. The monitor is now centered and I can sit normally underneath the desk with my feet and everything at, you know, in a comfortable position. But then I can easily move it back. And I could move it more to the side, I can have it angled, or I can have it just completely flat against the back wall and kind of completely put away. So it's the best it's going to be in this position, but it's not bad. This is just something I did last night. So it's still very new. I don't have a lot of experience yet using it in this position, but when I was playing with it yesterday and rearranging everything, it did seem like this was going to be the best configuration. So I'm excited to see how it works and how it goes. So I think that finally like updates my office video. The office is updated. Everything's in a new position, including now at the desk. This is going to be new for this week, but I'm really loving the aesthetic side of things and like just how it looks different visually, aesthetically, but also functionally. I think it's a little bit different. It's easier for me to access all of my different pen pots and all of my highlighters, and the candles now are like tucked away in their own little home. They're not constantly cluttering up the actual desktop. Yeah, I just feel like everything is now where I want it to be for how I'm using things right now. And that constantly changes. So I know that will continue to change, but for now, everything is just how I want it, and I really like that. I hope you've enjoyed this somewhat annual office refresh. I do change up my office pretty much every summer. This is dragged into autumn now, but I'm really happy with how things are and where things are at. If you have any questions about anything related to my office, do leave them in the comments down below. You can leave me, I don't think there's a desk emoji, but you can leave me desk supply related emojis, laptops, computers, books, pens, pencils. Leave me emojis of things related to the desk, I suppose, or some fall leaves, because I feel like the fall makeover of the desk is definitely done, or the office is definitely done. I love that I've got the fall leaf decals back on this window. It just makes me so happy. Yeah, as a question, you can let me know in the comments as well. Do you rearrange your desk? Do you rearrange your office? Like, do you actually move the position the desk is in every now and then, or do you rearrange everything that you store on top of the desk? Do you store things on top of your desk, or do you have to work with like a completely cleared off flat desktop? So yeah, let's just chat desk decor in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye!